Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Beth and Rip Yellowstone Spinoff. Will Carter be Beth Dutton's shot at redemption? Yellowstone's Beth is as tough as boot leather, but when a bruised boy named Carter walks into her life, even her iron heart starts to rust. How are some people as jagged as broken glass, but somehow still manage to catch the light? That's Beth Dutton for you. She's a whiskey neat in a world of lemon spritzers, brash, untamed, and always 2 inches from lighting the whole place on fire. But what happens when a firebrand like Beth is handed a child? A hurting, vulnerable, world-weary 14-year-old named Carter. In the upcoming Yellowstone spinoff, reportedly named Dutton Ranch, set to hit screens this November, we'll follow Beth and Rip. Yes, Kelly Relly and Cole Hauser are returning in full grit mode as they try to carve out a ranching life beyond the Dutton Empire. But this isn't just about cattle and land. It's also about second chances, bruised love, and quiet reckoning. Most of all, it's about whether a woman who once flinched at the word mama can finally claim motherhood, not with her mouth, but with her heart. Will Carter be Beth's shot at redemption? Or will he be a mirror she can't bear to look into? Beth Dutton, Kelly Riley, in Yellowstone Season 4 was a snarling hurricane wrapped in channel. Her trauma wasn't just lingering, it screamed. Blown up in an office, nearly losing her father, and watching her family fracture like splintered glass, Beth met Carter during one of her bleakest chapters. When she first met Carter outside a hospital, both were reeling with grief. He was watching his father die. She was bracing to lose hers. That kind of shared agony breeds strange intimacy. She took him in, not because she wanted to, but because, perhaps, she needed to. But don't expect warm hugs and bedtime lullabies. Beth, true to form, spewed cruelty like venom. "I don't want those F***king things," she snapped when Carter offered her flowers. And yet, behind her thorny exterior, something stirred. I think Beth was terrified. Terrified that if she let Carter in, she'd have to admit she needed someone. That she could be soft, and softness has always been Beth's biggest fear. She treats love like a loaded gun, dangerous, unpredictable, and likely to go off in her face. Then, something quietly radical happened. In Season 5 of Taylor Sheridan's Yellowstone, Beth began to change, not in grand, sweeping gestures, but in the small, honest ones. When Carter watched Colby die, his grief cracked him open. Beth didn't bark orders. She didn't spit venom. She sat down. She touched his hair. She let silence hold the moment. That scene gutted me. It was like watching a cactus bloom. For the first time, Beth wasn't posturing. She was present. And when she told Carter, "Of course you do have a family," it was a confession. Maybe the first one she ever said out loud. Let's talk about Rip Cole Hauser. The man's a brick wall with a beating heart. While Beth blows up everything in her orbit, Rip anchors. In Season 5, Episode 14, Life is a Promise, when the trio, Beth, Rip, and Carter, move to their new ranch in Dillon, Montana, there's a quiet inevitability about it. No legal adoption papers, no Hallmark declarations. Just a boy, a woman, and a man standing in the dirt, trying to build something permanent out of everything that's ever fallen apart. Carter may not share the Dutton blood, but that boy's got Yellowstone dust in his veins. He didn't come with a last name that matched the mailbox, but sometimes, family isn't about the blood. It's about who shows up when it's pouring and stays till the storm breaks. And maybe that's more powerful. Now we all know that Beth doesn't want redemption. She thinks she's unworthy. But isn't that what makes her journey so compelling? She's not begging for forgiveness. She's just trying not to destroy everything she touches. And in that attempt, however flawed, she's human. The upcoming Beth and Rip Yellowstone spinoff has the weight of unfinished business on its shoulders. Will Beth finally say the words, "You're my son"? Maybe not, but I don't need her to. I need to see her keep sitting beside him. As I see it, redemption doesn't come in fireworks. It comes in the quiet decision to keep showing up, even when you're bad at it. I truly believe in this line. Some people build fences around their hearts so no one gets in. Others build barns and hope someone finds shelter inside. Beth spent seasons fencing everyone out. But maybe with Carter, she's learning to leave the barn door open. So will Carter be Beth Dutton's shot at redemption? Not because he needs her, but because she might finally realize blood-stained world of Yellowstone. Few characters have captured hearts and ignited controversy quite like Beth Dutton. Fierce, unapologetic, and deeply wounded, Beth, played brilliantly by Kelly Reilly, is both a survivor and a saboteur. With the highly anticipated Yellowstone spinoff focused on Beth and Rip Wheeler, Cole Hauser, finally gaining traction, fans are asking, could this new chapter give Beth something she's long been denied, a shot at redemption? At the heart of that question lies Carter, the orphan teenager Beth begrudgingly took under her wing after his father died of a heroin overdose in Season 4. Their unconventional relationship had fans both rooting for a makeshift family and questioning Beth's unpredictable maternal instincts. But now, with rumors swirling that the spinoff will dive deeper into Beth and Rip's post-Dutton Ranch journey, Carter could very well be the emotional center that redefines Beth's legacy. The broken soul behind the powerhouse. Beth Dutton has spent her entire life building walls higher than the Montana sky. Scared by her mother's accidental death, tormented by guilt over her abortion, a secret that's kept her from motherhood, and molded by the brutal legacy of the Dutton name, Beth wears her pain like armor. She lashes out, drinks hard, loves harder, and makes enemies like it's a hobby. But despite her scorched earth persona, Beth's humanity flickers, especially when it comes to Rip and, unexpectedly, Carter. For all her coldness, there's a part of Beth that aches for family, even if she's convinced she doesn't deserve one. Rip, for his part, accepts her fully, monster and all. But Carter presents something more complicated, a chance to nurture, protect, and possibly heal. And that terrifies Beth. Carter, the ghost of a childhood lost. When Carter entered Beth's life, he was ragged, sarcastic, and far too grown-up for a boy his age, much like Beth was after losing her mom. Their dynamic was electric from the start, Beth barking orders and Carter pushing back. It was anything but a Hallmark fairy tale. Yet, under all the eye rolls and slammed doors, something fragile grew. Rip became the patient, grounding influence while Beth fought the idea of being called Mama. But as time went on, even she couldn't deny the bond forming with the boy who reminded her far too much of herself. Carter isn't just a character, he's Beth's mirror, a second chance, a what if. And now, as Yellowstone nears its end and the spinoff prepares to launch, Carter's role may be more central than fans expect. If Rip and Beth leave the Dutton Ranch behind to forge their own path, perhaps in Texas or another untamed stretch of frontier, it's likely Carter will come along. What better setting to test the limits of Beth's growth? Redemption on the range. Let's be clear, Beth isn't the type to suddenly turn soft. Her version of redemption won't involve tearful apologies or baking cookies for the school fundraiser. No, if Beth Dutton's going to find peace, it will be through fire. In the spinoff, we could see Beth fighting to give Carter a better life than she ever had. That might mean teaching him how to handle money, how to run a business, or how to defend what's his without becoming a monster in the process. Maybe she'll try, and fail, to shield him from the violence that shaped her. Maybe she'll even learn that control doesn't equal love. Rip, always the moral compass cloaked in a tough hide, will likely be the glue holding them all together. His influence on Carter has already been profound, from cowboy etiquette to learning when to walk away from a fight. But as Carter grows into a man, Beth will have to confront the fear that she's not enough, or worse, that she'll ruin him. Still, this is Beth's story, and there's power in watching someone claw their way towards something good, even if they have to break a few ribs doing it. Seeds of legacy. If Yellowstone has taught us anything, it's that legacy is everything. John Dutton fights like hell to preserve his ranch for future generations, but Beth, her legacy has always been murky. She doesn't have biological children. Her past is littered with trauma, betrayal, and vengeance. So what does she leave behind? Carter may be her answer. Through him, Beth could plant something that isn't soaked in blood, a seed that might grow into something pure, or at least something less bitter. Maybe she teaches him to outthink his enemies instead of destroying them. Maybe she shows him how to channel pain into power without turning into a ghost in a whiskey bottle. The spinoff offers a chance to deepen that dynamic, not in a preachy, neat bow kind of way, but with the gritty emotional realism Yellowstone is known for. Watching Beth and Carter clash, reconcile, and maybe even start to understand each other could deliver some of the series' most powerful storytelling yet.